About a month ago, I made a video exploring what's new in the Attack on Titan 2 gameplay, looking at the gameplay they released and seeing how it looks compared to the first game. Part of what we discovered was that Titans look a lot more menacing. They have a lot of new abilities that I just think make a lot of sense for an Attack on Titan game, and that will overall make the game a lot more enjoyable, because difficulty should really come from the Titan's unpredictable behavior and not just adding some health to each Titan so we can slash them more. And now, ever since a month ago, a lot of new material has come out and the Titans are definitely looking a lot better. Maybe even better than we first imagined, and that's what today's video is all about. The new information that has surfaced, which includes new Titan abilities, the announced roster of characters, which is over 30 characters, as well as my thoughts on the game based off this new information. My name is Globku, and welcome to another Attack on Titan 2 video. A lot of this new information comes from their recently released website, so let's start by dissecting this thing for a general overview. The first relevant piece of information comes from the Features tab, where the website says you'll be able to experience the story of the anime Season 2, as well as new original stories supervised by Hajime Isayama, the original creator. Now, as far as story mode went, things were a bit unclear, so does this offer some clarification? Yes, but it doesn't clear up everything in my opinion. We had seen some character creation stuff, as well as small dialogue interactions between your created character and characters from the anime, but it wasn't really enough to tell if this was a new original story or just some introduction dialogue missions to get you used to the game before we jump into the story of the Season 2 of the anime. But I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense because your original character never existed in those scenes, so it would be introducing a new character into a place that it never existed. But whatever, they could be making something new, who knows. But according to the website, it seems we're getting both the anime story and the original story. Now, does this mean there will be two separate story modes, or are they just one big continuous thing with the game switching between the anime characters and your created character on the fly? At this point, that's what we don't know. That's what's still a bit unclear. What we do know is that anime characters will actually be playable, which I guess we already expected based on the previous game, but what we didn't know was the amount of playable characters in this game. Holy cow, look at this screen, 33 total characters and more. And you'll actually be able to play as these characters. We've already seen some gameplay as Annie. It's not clear if they will be playable during story mode or if this is just for expedition mode, which back in the first game was the mode where you just went off in random missions and you could select the character you play as and all that. Where we use these characters, we still don't know. And I'm also not really sure what the difference between these characters is. If it's anything like the first game, it's going to be a difference in speed, damage, health, and a couple of special and unique moves. So nothing too significant. I fully expect a lot of the characters here to play exactly the same, which makes it a lot easier to have such a big roster of characters, but I guess you can choose one of the characters you like and just play as them, and that always has value in my opinion. Now, these small differences do get a lot bigger if we're talking about a playable Titan character. At that point, the gameplay just becomes so different. Which, hey, it's been confirmed that there are some playable Titans. This time around, you're not limited to Titan Eren. You've got 5 different Titans confirmed so far. Now that we're spoiling who these are, if you haven't watched Season 2 of the anime, just look at their pictures. If you've seen it, you know who they are. We've also got some female Titan gameplay, so you can check out how she plays. She's got experience, right? She's got that fighting pose, and she measures her punches and kicks. She's not a brawler like Eren who just swings his arms around. Yeah, the Titans do seem to have some differences in gameplay. And I fully expect the gameplay to be that different depending on the Titan you pick, because they move so differently, they attack in such different ways. I mean, their size alone is so distinct that they need to play with different styles for sure. I mean, the female Titan with that fighting style, that's not really gonna apply to the Colossus Titan, right? Can you imagine the Colossus Titan with that speed? Oh my god. Oh, through the trailers, we've also seen the Beast Titan. He seems to be returning, but he hasn't been confirmed to be a playable character yet. He might just be an enemy. But boy, that guy is scary. If that guy goes into Berserk mode, he just leaps into the air and smashes you. It's really something. But back to the website. Moving on to the Systems tab, there's a couple of mechanics that we talked about already, like the buddy assists, which have different functions depending on the type of character here they are. The sneak attacks, which seem to be a one-hit kill if you use your telescope, while the Titans are not aware of your presence. But there are also a couple of new things. The first one is called Hook Drive, and we can actually see this one during one of the trailers that came out since the last video. You dodge a Titan while in the air, and if you time it right, you'll land a powerful blow. And this reminds me a lot of Geddon's Attack on Titan tribute game. This perfect dodge mechanic that goes into a strong attack, that was the whole combat system of that game. So in a way, I'm happy that these guys are looking at the games the community's been developing and the games that the community likes. At the same time, that means they're seeing that game and the physics-based movement and saying, nah, we're not doing that. Also, I bet Geddon is not getting paid for any of this, so there's also that. Scroll down a little bit on the website and you see this tab about detection. This has to do with the Titan Berserk mode that we talked about in the previous video, but if you haven't watched it, Titans go absolutely nuts in this game. They have this mode where they go berserk and just destroy everything around them and lunge straight at you. Like they straight up jump head first and try to grab you. And if you're good with the omnidirectional gear and you have fuel, maybe it's not super dangerous. You do have to play a bit more defensively because it's dangerous to get close. But you never know. In the world of Attack on Titan, you might be caught in a tough spot and the Berserk mode will most likely kill you. So far, this seems to be the most significant addition to the game as far as Titans go, and the detection tab on the website explains how it works. So every Titan has this icon that fills up in yellow. This is basically a detection meter. If it's empty, they don't know where you are, so they'll ignore you, and you can even use the sneak attack if you want. If it fills up in yellow, they become aware of you, so they might attack you, but they still behave like normal Titans. But after the yellow, the meter fills up again in red, and once it's full, that's when the Titan will go berserk. It's a simple, nice visual interface that makes it easier to understand the Titan's behavior, even if I'd like that stuff to be a bit more mysterious and random. In my opinion, humans don't get to know when Titans are about to go berserk, but that's just me. Finally, the last thing we'll talk about on this website is the restraining. You can shoot this cannon, which holds a big net, to pin down a Titan, I assume for a limited amount of time, and during this time, you and your teammates can just attack it. This is actually an item that you equip on your consumables. In this footage from Anime Games Online, we can see that Annie, for instance, has this equipped on the right direction of the D-pad, which, by the way, right before she uses this, you can see her changing the set of items on the D-pad, meaning you can use at least 8 items in battle. I did say in a previous video that putting items on the D-pad would make them a lot easier to use, but maybe that would come with a disadvantage. The disadvantage that maybe you're not able to bring so many items into the field. But now with you being able to carry 8 items, I think the amount you can carry is no longer a concern. Alright, that's the website. That's where most of this information comes from, but I have to mention one more trailer, which is the Titans trailer. And the reason why the Titans just keep getting better and better, I think it's largely because of what we've seen in this trailer. Yes, you can play as 5 Titans in this game, and that's awesome on its own, and it's very likely that you'll also be fighting against these Titans during missions as well. But even the regular Titans have some new moves that really resonate with me, and they have these sudden moves that where they just jump and grab you out of the air or off the ground, and these just seem to come out of nowhere, and this is really what will make the Titans feel more dangerous. This is the type of stuff that will make us scared of the Titans. The first game had its difficulty spikes, especially with the expedition mode, but difficulty wasn't the fear of the Titans. It was just more Titans with more health and armor, and I think if they bet on this unpredictable nature of the Titans, we might start to respect and fear them a lot more, like we're supposed to, like the anime teaches us. The Titans are scary. When we play the game, we just jump into the middle of 3 without thought, and that's not really, you know, there's a disconnect there. I don't like that a lot. This trailer makes it seem like they are a lot more unpredictable, and they'll make us think twice before jumping into a group of Titans. Unfortunately, when we watch actual gameplay, we don't see this stuff, but those behaviors might just not be in the build that was playable. I think what they show in the trailers is definitely gameplay, so I think we can expect it in the final game. And I personally have been loving all of this. These new systems, I think, change the game for the better. My only concern is that watching the gameplay, the mission types seem very similar to the first game, which was a huge problem in my opinion. The main concern people have, the main problem with the first Attack on Titan game that every single fan has pointed to, is that it got really repetitive. Now, I do hope they're able to come up with something new for the mission structure, or maybe these new systems on their own will be enough to keep the game interesting, even if they don't change the mission structure too much. We'll see. Omega Force isn't very well known for innovation. That said, I gave you a lot of new information today, as well as my opinions on it. Now I'd love to hear your opinions. Head down to those comments and let me know what you're thinking. For our previous Attack on Titan 2 video, we analyzed what was new in the gameplay compared to the first game. You can check the video right here. If you're in the mood for something else, there's also the video at the bottom. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.